Hey guys, this is Nick Brown at J-Tech, and tonight we are going to be going over hydraulics and how a hydraulic system works. So with that, stay tuned. Alright, so tonight, since we are going to be going over hydraulics, I'm sure at this point you guys are like, what the heck are we looking at? Well, what you're looking at is a hydraulic, it's a bend pack pipe bender, okay? On this side, we have a double-acting, double-sided cylinder that's for flaring. You can see the little dies down there that you can put on the end of the ram. You can flare it too. You can make it wider, okay? On this side, this is where the actual bending happens. Okay, I'll show you how it actually works. What it does is put the tube in there, and then bam. Yep, that's all it does. Very interesting, kind of interesting. Alright, go ahead and shut this off. Okay, so that's basically how it works. Okay, you got two operated hydraulic rams. You also got this one on the bottom. Now I'm going to show you that. We'll talk about that later. But first thing I want to show you guys is how a hydraulic system works. This hydraulic system is operated by a hydraulic motor, which drives a gear-driven hydraulic pump. This pump is simply what you see on most small hydraulic systems like this. This pump right down here, I've taken one of these pumps apart, the hydraulic pump. It's basically no different than a gear pump that you would see inside a small block Chevy or a big block Chevy or any engine that utilizes a gear-driven oil pump, okay? Alright, down here, you have where you can fill the hydraulic fluid, and down here is the tank, okay? This is not a pressurized tank, this is a ventilated tank. Okay, so you have your big hydraulic hose that feeds the hydraulic motor. You have your filter, which picks up any contaminants inside the system before it hits the pump. Most of the time, in fact, you should see the filter before you see the pump. It would be kind of dumb if the filter was after the pump, because then it would be tearing up the pump before you did anything else with it. Okay. Before it got to anything. Okay, then you got your first little pressure gauge right there, just to show you the pressure that's coming out. Manufacturer specification should not exceed the pressure by the gauge down there. Okay, then you have your first hydraulic hose feeding your first directional hydraulic control valve. Okay, directional control valve. This is called a directional control valve. This lever right here is a 3-position lever. You got your down position, neutral position, and then your up position, okay, which controls this hydraulic ram. Okay, this line can be used as a feed tube or return tube back to the directional control valve. So is this line down here going back up, down there, going back up to the other side of the hydraulic ram, double-acting, double-sided hydraulic ram. Okay, now we have a feed tube feeding this valve, but what about this valve over here that drives this hydraulic ram? We have a tube going down here, as you can see. No, that's the wrong one. Okay, that one right here, going all the way to the other side of the machine. Okay, and that line is feeding this other directional control valve. Okay. On again, this side, it's a 3-position lever. Right now it's in a neutral position, down, neutral, up, controlling the back and forth motion of this hydraulic ram. Very simplistic. Hydraulic systems are honestly, they're overlooked as very complicated. I mean, once you look at a hydraulic schematic, understand the symbols, understand how everything works, how everything flows, everything has to flow. Similar to you have to look at a schematic when you look at a schematic for electrical diagrams. Okay, it's a very similar thing. The fluid's only going to flow one way. It also has to have a return back to its power source. So therefore, the power source in this case acts as the tank. Okay, which is down there. Alright, this directional control valve is controlling this hydraulic ram, but wait, hold up. At the same time, it is controlling the bottom hydraulic ram this bottom hydraulic ram controls to make sure that these stay in a single position. That's what the chain is down there for. Okay. Now, most of you guys at this point are asking, what's this little tube right here? This little tube, the line is fed through this side of the hydraulic ram, so oil or hydraulic fluid is only going to stay on this side of the hydraulic ram. Piston, if I were to guess, probably somewhere around that position. So on this side of the hydraulic ram, all you have is air. The air's got to go somewhere. Okay, so air's going to run through this little tube back to the hydraulic reservoir. Okay, basically it just prevents it from any air pockets building up inside the system that will cause the hydraulic system, the hydraulic pump, to have to work harder, and you'll damage the pump, which will, I mean, it could be very expensive depending on, these are very expensive machines. Okay, so typically you don't want to see that, so you will see air lines going back to the tank on this. Okay, so very simple, very easy how a hydraulic system works. Okay, that's just a basic overview about how one of these hydraulic system works. Now, the same concept, the same basic what I just went over, okay, those Peterbilt car haulers right over there that you see, the same thing works for them. Okay, they have hydraulic gear-driven pumps with the driven off the transmission with the PTOs. Okay, put one of those on, it activates the hydraulic pump, and therefore you can work the hydraulic system. It feeds the ram, and also there's fluid returning from the ram back to the reservoir. Same concept as this, guys. I mean, once you know that a hydraulic ram, how a hydraulic system works, you're good. Okay, it basically works the same as the electrical. It has to have return, or it has to have going to the load. Okay, the load in this case is going to the rams, and then it also has to have a return from the rams. Okay, going back to the tank. Okay, so with that, that's just an overview, as basic as I possibly could as far as hydraulic systems go. That's just an overview about how these hydraulic systems work. So with that, hope you guys like this video. We'll see you guys later.